Hey, it's the Newport This Week video podcast. I'm Bill Bartholomew. Remember, every week we go inside some of the biggest issues impacting Aquidneck Island and beyond. You'll find it at newportthisweek.com and over on the Newport This Week YouTube channel. A lot going on, a lot to catch up with Maureen Cronin from the Newport Tree and Open Space Commission. And honestly, it's one of those times where you go, where do we start? I think there's a lot of people right now who are thinking about the carousel. This has been kind of an interesting journey. What can you tell us about the historic carousel right now?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me, and it's always great to have a chance to talk with you and to us talk more about the work that the commission does, which is literally all encompassing on all of our environment here in the city. The carousel is one of many projects that the Tree and Open Space has been challenged with working on this past 12 months. We were asked by administration back in January that since it was moved in storage, if we could find a proper location to restore it to. So we have spent from January to our most recent advisory to council looking and investigating. And I cannot say enough about the Public Services Department for the city. Call out to Scott Wheeler, Eric Rice, and their entire team. We have been on the ground, we have been measuring, and every member of my commission has showed up, as has the public. This has been a 100% total effort of everybody involved. Unfortunately, well, at the very beginning, we came up with a criteria based on the history of the carousel, and it's a practical and logistical needs. What 6 things we needed to make sure that a carousel would have. So we use that as our overlay. Unfortunately, using that, we were not able to find a location that would be able to place the carousel in, meeting all those parameters. It also has a very high cost for renovation. It will cost upwards to $500,000 to renovate. And that does not include the building of a building for it, nor the operational costs going forward. And so subsequently, at this point in time, we have no recommendations for a location for it. So
Right.
that is where we stand. That was our report back to the council. And the advisory was we may need to look at other options, donation, selling, other options should probably be investigated at this point in time.
Yeah, and according to an article in Newport This Week that covered the proceedings, if you will, in front of the council back, this article was published on the 13th, so the meeting was on the 12th then. Look, the council is not saying no, no way, no how. It's just that the existing proposal, it's going to need some tweaking for all those reasons that you just laid out. Is that fair to say?
Absolutely clear. I mean, there are huge considerations. The neighborhood, the sensitivity to neighborhood integration, if we were using an open, park, which wasn't flooding, environment, the cost, et cetera, traffic, everybody's favorite subject, parking, their next favorite subject. So we had hoped we could integrate it with the Martin Recreation Center, with the Martin Recreation Center, the hut, as we all know and love it, is in dire need of its own renovation to bring it up to where it needs to be right now for the city. The children, the adults that use it, it is our only official recreation center. Our amazing staff works out of there. It in and of itself is a beloved institution that right now could really use a lot to get it up to a way that people could just soar with the greatest of equipment and a better build inside there. So
Absolutely. And then there's been some rumors floating about the community that there may be some private buyers interested in this. No real solid details. Again, this is rumor mill kind of stuff, but the buzz is real. What would it take for a private, either individual or organization, to acquire the wooden horses, the horses, and the entire apparatus, the carousel, and install it somewhere on their own?
first of all, I'm in the same situation as all of my fellow residents. I've read about it and seen it on social media. I know that the team at Public Services has not received any input either. So I'm really not sure about the genesis. but I can only speak at 30,000 feet about public-private partnerships in general. So I really don't want to speak about that one because I have no facts on it. Um, I think that a lot of times, especially in this economy and especially where we are, when you have very sensitive or very important things to a community that may not be able to make it into a line item budget, because of all the infrastructure needs and all the other important things we need to have and pay for in order to keep our city running safely and in a healthy manner. Um, Sometimes, in many cases, public-private partnerships are the answer. And that is when all the groups come together and everybody says, hey, how can we make this happen? In a spirit of getting to done. So I personally believe in public-private partnerships. In many cases, I find that they've done amazing things, but I don't know, you know, I could see it on many issues that we've got with environment, us using that as an option. And I would never preclude it personally if somebody came and wanted to sit down and say, hey, I want to make this happen and
Right.
see what we could do. Sure.
Ultimately, at the end of the day, that's the goal.
But we all want to get to win. We all want, nobody, everybody wants it to be, everybody wants to make sure to the best of their ability that they've got the capacity to give residents, give people, give environment what it needs. It's a question of how do we work together to get that done very often.
What else has the commission been up to? I know that there's some splash pads in the mix, as well as some tree work, as always. Want to give us an overview
Some
of some of those
happy
projects?
words there. Um, yeah. Well, we're kind of busy, which makes us very happy. Yeah, we are right now. Some of the largest aspects that we've got going on are we created a master plan back in 2017, which was adopted by the city and has been used by the planning department for much of the open space work upgrades that you see going on. So as a best practice, we have been working for the past year and a half on a revision to that. We're in our final draft. We will be giving that to the city in probably January, February for adoption, getting under the comp plan so that we can be in there, where we review what successes have been done since 2017 and what needs to also be done. We'll be focusing a lot on resiliency. We'll be focusing a lot on enhanced upgrades, a lot of open space betterments and things of that nature. We're also going to be presenting the council a canopy report that we did with DEM and an infrastructure the Green Infrastructure Group. That's going to clearly tell the city and all the residents that we have an over 20% canopy loss problem that we need to fix, which will definitely impact everybody's resiliency, climate change, issues like that. We're looking at access and new amenities for all of our open spaces, splash pad being one. It's in for, well, cross your fingers. We're asking for a grant that we would put it up near the skate park. It would be an amazing area for them with shade structures, bathrooms, and everything else. Continuing enhancement is something. It's important to understand. You brought the carousel area earlier, and a lot of what's driving it is the legacy and the emotion. It's important also everybody to remember that what we're also building right now is the legacy of what's going to be here in 30 years. You're going to hear people say, I spent my childhood at the skate park, fill in the blank, or whatever else we're working on now. And we keep that in mind with everything we do. These are things that we want people in 30 years to be defending, that they love so much, that they have so many memories of. And that's kind of, we're working a lot on that. We're hoping to increase the awareness of the Martin Recreation Center and work a lot on the park amenities, particularly maybe dog parks in particular. We've been looking at that. And we have not lost our focus. For anybody that's wondering about the Pell Bridge realignment, we continue with the support of Councilor Stephanie Smythe and State Senator Lauren Carson to be trying to work with RIDOT about getting that whole area redeveloped and landscaped like we planned it to be. So those are just a couple things.
Yeah, just a couple of things here and there that are transforming the island, as you say, setting the table for the future. Maureen Cronin, thanks so much for your time, as always.
Oh, it's always been my pleasure to speak with you. And any questions you ever have, feel free to reach out. Take care.